and welcome to an abbreviated, very sad edition of the Logjam. As you can see, Darren Adams down with the sickness, not able to make it to the pod this week. Darren, we wish you all the best. We hope you have a speedy recovery and you have you next week for the pod. Maybe a double episode then. So without further ado, we're just going to get into this week's games and get through it as quickly as we possibly can. Game number one, the 3-3 Who's Your Daddy, taking care of the also 3-3 Your Mom's Pimp, 114-104. 6 players over the Mendoza line for Daddy. Nobody over 20 though. Real team effort, a team win for Daddy. Maybe the story of the game over on the Pimp side. Cortland Sutton gets the start on Monday night over possibly A.J. Brown. Could have been the difference in the game there. Nice move for Daddy, taking Tom Brady, starting over Justin Herbert. Again, that Monday night debacle was nothing to be happy about from a fantasy owning perspective. And for the Pimps, Breece Hall gets a nice 23, shows a little bit of sustenance there, but again, not enough to do it. Daddy with a nice win, getting to 3-3. Second game of the week, Young Fused, 136 over the Zorros, 122. Young moves to 3-3 on the strength of Joe Burrow's 40 burger. Really nice play there. On the Zorro side, maybe the Young and Confused lucky. Henry and Adams on bye week this week. From the Zorro's perspective, it was supposed to be a really big week with the appearance of Cooper Kupp. Maybe a little bit disappointing there, not getting the numbers that you're looking for. But all in all, Zorro's 4th in points scored on the year, down there at 9th place at 2-4. Young and Confused doing what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe a little bit of fortune calls, getting the Avengers next week with some bye issues themselves. Game number 3, the Avengers do take care of Merci in kind of the week's blowout, 162-86. Avengers on the strength of Allen and Diggs and company, really putting up a nice number. The cupless Merci Beaucoup, maybe asking for Merci, getting only 5.9 points out of DK Metcalf and Jeff Wilson Jr., the return bounty in return for giving up Cooper Kupp. Nice day for Andrews. Really good start out of Deion Jackson. Jonathan Taylor on the bench for the Avengers. They get 28 points out of the Colts backfield. But only 1.3 points out of their 2 running back positions combined. Not going to get you a win playing like that. Game number 4 of the week, the Poway Titans, high score, 191. Take care of the Scoregasms at 111. What can we say about Poway other than they're looking like a Poway house, maybe, if you will? Hill 33, Juju Smith-Schuster maybe replacing Hill or getting those kind of numbers in the Kansas City offense. And for another week in a row, we're going to sit here talking about the Poway running backs. All 3 Poway running backs scoring at least 22 points. Feels like a really solid there. All 9 Poway starters in double figures. 3rd high points of the week out of 6 weeks. Over half the weeks, Poway sitting up there and tied for first place, 2nd in overall points. Looking good. Scoregasms, nice efforts out of Mahomes and CMC, but you're wondering what else. A lot of other question marks on that roster. We know they're involved in some trade talks here and there. We'll see what they do, but not looking great at the bottom end of 3-3. The last game of the week, the Fury, 138 over the Hapless Sins, 71. Jamar Chase leads the way with 35 for the Fury. 138, nearly, I think, the high point mark for Fury this year, yet there they are in first place at 4-2. If you look at behind the numbers, the Fury, 8th in total points on the year, tied for first place. Part of that probably due their opponent's total score average this week is 103.5 over the course of the year. So some favorable numbers so far in the season. We'll see if that's sustainable for the Fury. On the Sin side, Stafford, Fant, double figures. 7 starters did not make double figures. We're running out of negative superlatives for the Sin. 526 points on the year is almost 400 points behind the leaders, averaging only 87.6 points a game on the year. Wow, that's tough, getting their 4th low points of the year. So that takes care of last week's games. We did start a segment last week called 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink, where we pick guys that we think are going to do good. I'm being told it's two that I think and 1 that will stink. My bad on the wording there. But we're going to pick a couple guys. We think in that Dallas-Detroit game, Tony Pollard might have a chance to shine. Detroit has the worst run defense in the league. We think maybe Dak Prescott looking like maybe some decoys out there and using that run game to their advantage, and Pollard looking like the more explosive back in that offense might have a nice night. Another one that we think here on set that's going to have a good night, the guy that we traded for, his name was LOGJAM, or it might have been Bubbles from The Wire. And either way, the Saints without Marshawn Lattimore going to have, I think, some trouble. They're going to have a lot of focus on DeAndre Hopkins. One of those toyed with Rondale Moore, but we're going with Robbie Anderson in his Cardinal debut, having a fantastic night. On the reverse side, Tua Tagovailoa might not be in that great a position Sunday night against the Steelers. Coming back from having his bell rung, we hope that doesn't happen to him again, of course, but that suddenly resurgent Steelers defense might cause trouble for Tua. Not sure he's going to have the most fantastic game of the year. We are going to skip over the mailbag, but guys, please send questions. It was fantastic to have those from you. We love having a little bit of content to go through and stuff to talk about on the pod. So email us at mikeoxenfire@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you there. Otherwise, man, Darren, we'd love to have you back. It's just not the same on the set without you, buddy.
I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely and sad, real alone. There's no one, just me only.